This tutorial will cover the groundwork that needs to be set up before you can start using Knowledgeware. There are several options that need to be selected before you can access the tools. The first has to do with the most basic elements of Knowledgeware, which is creating sets of parameters and sets of relations. In the same way you have a geometrical set, you can have sets of relations and parameters in the specifications tree. Now, these should appear when you create a new parameter, for instance. Automatically, a set of parameters is created, and my parameter is located in that set. Likewise, if I create a formula, which is a relation, edit formula, 1, a set of relations is automatically created, my formula is placed in it. If I go to the Knowledge Advisor workbench, I'm selecting my shortcut for the Knowledge Advisor workbench. You can see there are buttons for add set of parameters, which can be nested inside each other and reordered. And of course, Alt-Enter, under Properties, they can be renamed. Likewise, the same for sets of relations. Relations are not only formulas, relations are also containers for Knowledgeware scripts, including rules. If I make a new rule, it appears in the default relation set. Likewise, knowledge patterns appear in the relation set. If you do not have the right options selected, in CATIA you will not see these sets of relations and parameters. To make sure these appear, if they do not appear, you should go into Tools, Options. You should go and select Expand the Infrastructure tab, and go to Product Structure. Navigate all the way to the rightmost tab, Tree Customization, and make sure parameters and relations are activated. In other words, it should say yes under parameters and relations. If it does not, select Activate for both parameters and relations. The next step is to go to Part Infrastructure, Display, and make sure parameters and relations are selected in the Display and Specification Tree region. Lastly, under Parameters and Measure, Knowledge, you may want to check Display with Value. This will toggle on and off whether or not your parameter's value is displayed in the tree, which is generally useful. For advanced and primarily scripting elements in Knowledgeware, you also need to go to the Knowledge Environment tab under Parameters and Measure and make sure the Load Extended Language Libraries, and I think the easiest thing to select is All Packages. This will load some of the extended library packages we will be using in this class. Lastly, you need a reference directory for types and for the knowledge environment. These directories can be located anywhere, but they need to be somewhere that your CATIA can write to. In other words, the default C drive on the public computers at Columbia, if I understand correctly, you cannot write to them, so you'll have to have a shared drive or a network drive or a USB. Those are all the options that need to be selected. If all those options are selected, you should be able to see parameters and relations in the tree, and you should be able to see all the Knowledgeware functionality that we are going to be addressing in this class.